I the meanest? Sure enough. Am I the prettiest? Sure enough. Am I the baddest mofo low down around this town? Sure enough. Well, who am I? Sure enough. Who am I? Sure enough. I can't hear you. Sure enough. Sure enough. Sugar. Sugar.
Yo, 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 what up, what up? Happy Wednesday morning to everybody. This is the AM Kings show. You already know, J-Pad the Juggernaut, LB, the Abbott, the Mellow Man, PDC. We are live Monday, Wednesday, Friday on Facebook and YouTube. C is already in the building. He said, what's goody? Show enough here and ready for another opportunity to be better than yesterday. Yes, indeed. We are ready for an opportunity like that as well. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, man. Yeah, it's a great Wednesday morning. You know what I'm saying? Like, subscribe, share the AM King show. Make sure you stay tuned for the woke show right after this. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna definitely be tapping in with the Mellow Man on the ones and the twos. Because he lights the fuse and we cannot refuse. And we got
we will not lose. We will not.
Yes, indeed. L, give me a checkup on the business, man. What's going on with it?
Oh, yeah. How y'all doing? Like, subscribe, and share. I'm sorry, I was in the middle of something. But yeah, the business going pretty good. No complaints. Starting
Oh,
to get a
yeah,
little bit
in the
more
middle
foot
of something, all right.
traffic.
Yeah.
Huh?
Oh, yeah, you was in the middle of something, all right. You doggone right about that.
Oh, yeah. You see me too, but you made sure you wanted to call me first.
Right
But
on.
it's wrong. Everything's going good.
Good, man. Good. That's what's up. That's what we like to hear, man. Hey, there's some other good things coming at the In and Out store, man. Y'all make sure y'all stay tuned with that. You know what I'm
Yes,
saying? Mellow man, you know what I'm saying? Multitasking this morning, flipping pancakes and you know what I mean? Getting things, getting the nourishment in for the morning and getting ready to spread the wisdom. What's going on, Mellow man? Tell us what's going on, brother.
No doubt, no doubt. I was putting something together for mom.
okay.
I'm I'm still. We started a fast challenge and three
Okay.
days ago. So yeah,
What's
we
that? What's
on
the
that.
challenge, brother? Let's all see if we can get involved.
Yeah.
What a what a 30-day challenge is. I'm looking at myself on your recast. I'm like, let me get on the right browser. I saw my lips moving. I was like, that was JPad's Facebook. But listen, so for 30 days, and it's baby steps, you know what I mean? I fasted yesterday for 22 hours
Oh man.
and I ended the fast. Yeah, I ended the fast. And initially I said I was gonna go from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. to 7 a.m.
Wow.
initially. But 7 a.m. came and I was still running, doing work and moving around and I really wasn't hungry. So I just extended it till
Oh
5
wow.
p.m., which was 22 hours, and I went ahead and ended it with a smoothie. So the challenge to our people is to go 30 days on a 7 p.m. to 7 a.m. fast. That's just, basic.
Yeah, and that's a great start. That's a great start to understanding intermittent fasting,
Mhm.
and we all have done it. I've done it. Mello's done it. We've all done different challenges in these last several years, and and I think it's critical. It's vital, especially for us people of color, that we got to really start locking in on our diet and start understanding the benefit of a fast, benefit of giving your system a break, because the habit is just to eat that 3 times a day. You know what I'm saying? And we don't realize the body can survive off of food for a considerable amount of time. 48 hours, almost 72 hours before you really absolutely should put some nourishment in your system. And you also have to give your system a break. I did the parasite detox. As you can see, it's starting to flatten me out. You know what I'm saying? Getting my system in order. And think about it, man. Back in the day when we was bigger, I couldn't put two layers on like that, man, and still feel like I'm in a good space. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, it would be tight. And so and for those who don't know, this is a large. This ain't no this ain't no extra large. This is a large. So we working. You know what I'm saying? We working, getting in the gym, getting into the work. I'll be in there today. Checking in with the chat. C said, chilling like a villain, always willing, hot to the ceiling. How you feeling? How y'all feeling? You know what I'm saying? Melanie checking in from Erie. What's going on, Melanie? How you doing? Good morning, Grand Rising Kings. Yes, it is the AM show. We are on Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 8 a.m. YouTube, Facebook, like, subscribe, share. Uh, see that once again, a good point. Children need to eat 3 times a day. Mature beings do not need to. Correct. And so that's why the challenge is on. And I think we're going to accept that challenge, Podge. We're going to get in with you. We may
Yeah,
be,
I'm with it.
yeah, we may be a few days late, but we're going better late than never. You know what I'm saying? So
Monday. Monday is the official
so
start.
Monday.
So, you know what I mean? Yeah, Monday is the official start, but we can actually just get the body in tune to, knock off the Cheetos and the Twinkies and all of
Yeah,
that.
the
Just
cookies.
eat
Yeah, the
better.
cookies,
Yeah.
the cakes, the little Debbies, and you know what I'm saying? Don't be a little Debbie. You know what I'm saying?
And as the challenge goes on, we'll get more and more alkaline based food in you because the body is made of electricity and you need alkaline based foods to
Yes.
keep it going.
Yes. Some examples of alkaline foods is anything that has a nutrient in it that produces alkalinity. You know what I'm saying? And you can look up a list of foods. There's a bunch of fruits. There's a bunch of vegetables that can give you that alkaline power. You know what I'm saying? Even alkaline water. We could even go there and say, hey, alkaline water is great for consumption in these days and times as well, because Larry, you specific to us type of water you like to drink. Am I correct?
Yeah, I drink spring water, but I drink alkaline water. It's got to have that black top on it. That's how you know it's the alkaline one and shit. They got the good high pH, good alkaline pH in it and shit.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. And the benefits of the water that comes from fruit, like me, myself, I consume blueberries on a regular and consistent basis. And that's considered on the lines of alkalinity. You know what I mean? So, if you enjoy blueberries, you enjoy strawberries, you enjoy any berry. You can pick a berry and go for what you know. Most of them are seeded, you know what I'm saying?
Halle Berry.
Hey,
Yeah, we want that berry,
that's
damn
a
it.
that's a nourishing thing as, as well. That's a
Yeah, we
nourishing
want that
thing as
berry. I squeeze that berry.
oh, C said something really interesting here. He said put Suge's Night crystal in your water too. Suge's Night crystal. We'll look that up, man. We'll look that up.
Yeah.
See the benefit of it.
I thought Suge Knight was
Oh,
in
Suge's
jail.
Night.
So I thought you were talking about this shit. With
Oh
sugar.
man, I don't know. We're gonna have to dissect that one. But just Suge Knight. Shung Night. Okay. Shung Knight. Okay.
Shung Knight.
Okay. Good
Okay.
look. See, appreciate that insight and giving us that positive information here on the AM show, the AM Kings show at that. You know what I'm saying? And we are back once again. I just want to, gotta gloat a little bit. The Taskmaster album is doing wonders. We just got an update yesterday, which it hasn't been updated in my Spotify just yet, but but we have confirmed that the drill call album, the drill call instrumental album, has now made it to 21 different Spotify playlists. So 21 different Spotify playlists for the album. You know what I'm saying? I'm super happy about it. Big shout out to Times Music in Cleveland for powering and moving us through the channels and getting us all the way in there. Gigi Nolan. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. I didn't see you at first. I appreciate you tapping in. You already know, to the AM Kings show. Yeah, fellas, what an accomplishment. You know what I'm saying? The album dropped on the 20th of March. It is not even a month later, and it's already, out in the atmosphere. You know what I'm saying? It's hitting. It just goes to show you guys dedication to certain things, sticking with those albums. For all my artists and all my people out there doing music, you got to stick with your project, and you got to really drive it home. You got to drive it home, and drive it home to people until the algorithms and the playlists start kicking. And there's a way to go about doing it, and it's real simple. Our formula is simple. We just keep putting it in the atmosphere. We keep negotiating playlists. We keep negotiating, putting it wherever it can be. You know what I'm saying? Doing reels, doing all kind of different types of things to agitate. You know what I'm saying? So that great music that you do has its value. You know what I'm saying? Has its value. And super grateful for that though. 21 playlists, guys, in less than a month. 21 playlists on Spotify. So the Taskmaster series volume 1 is rolling. And I got nothing to say but thank you guys. Thank you all for your support. Thank you for the new listeners, the new fans of the show that we're doing here, because we started just merely a few months ago, if that. And in that short amount of time, we've built a nice international community, and you guys are up in the morning with us, and we are up in the morning with y'all, and we will continue to bring it to y'all, rough, rugged, and raw. You know what I mean? On the AM Kings show. Also, go ahead, Potch. Go ahead.
I wanted to mention this. After the AM King show, the three of us was all tied in with the woke show because
You went right
I went
in.
right to the set, and I didn't really pay attention until you just now said that we had some viewers from Moscow. I'm normally having people from Germany, but I
Oh
had somebody
wow,
from Moscow that I think carried over from the AM King show. So let's see what
big
we could do
salute,
today.
big salute.
L- L- LFXmedia.live. It's actually live.
Yes,
And I
indeed.
had I had a conversation. Yeah, let me say this quick. I had a conversation with I'm doing government contracts. So my advisor that's putting things together, he said cuz he was locking in all of my information. He said lfxmedia.live, that's your website. I said, "Yeah, I own it. That's my domain." He said it's not popping up. You might have to change the live to a .com or .net. I said, "No, we're not interrupting the brand. It's lfxmedia.live. Period."
Period.
Period, point blank. Get
And
it right.
those for those on Facebook or those watching the screen here, you guys can see the URL. Go ahead to www.lfxmedia.live and make sure you tap into the Woke Show right after the AM Kings show. The Mellow Man PDC is on the wheels of steel, and it's all the way real. Yeah, I'm rhyming this morning, man. Y'all don't judge me. You know what I mean? Just it's just one of the kind of mornings. Also wanted to give you guys another update, and for those who aren't aware in the AM King show community, for those music producers out there, they're looking for something fun to do. I actually created my own virtual instrument. It is this in particular thing right here. It is called the Sound Box. This is the sound box. If y'all can see, the sound box is there, and what it is, it's a virtual instrument that's got 25 original sounds that I created myself. and put them into an instrument. And you can utilize this instrument in any DAW of your choice. That's a digital audio workstation. If you have FL Studio, if you have, if you have anything, Pro Tools, FL Studio, Studio One, any of those softwares, you can pop my instrument into it and you can get busy with it. Here's an example of Santoro playing uh, some beats or creating some beats with my virtual instrument, the Soundbox. Yes, indeed. That is the Soundbox VST virtual instrument. You guys can pick it up on custombeatking.com. It is for the low, low price of $9.99. All you have to do is just fork out $10 and you'll have an instrument that you can use to create original sounds in your production. You know what I mean? So I just want to give a little shout out to that. And
That's good.
yeah, yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. We're innovators over here, man. You know what I'm saying? People don't know. Like, they're like, man, you got your own instrument? I know that took some time. Yes, it did. Just to put 25 sounds in it took some time. I mean, you think about all the things that we're doing. We're podcasting. You know what I'm saying? I'm custom making beats for artists all the time. I'm always doing consultations and things of that nature. And I still found time to create my own virtual instrument, a signature instrument that I wanted to present to the world is for you guys to have fun. It is not the Bentley of instruments that are out there. Those high-tech companies, they got a team of people working on those things. It was just me. I found a company, you know what I'm saying? Big shout out to Rompler.com. You know what I'm saying? As a matter of fact, Hit Boy, the producer Hit Boy endorses Rompler as well. He has his own signature sounds that you can implement into a Rompler instrument. The instrument itself is what it is. It's going to expand as far as the sounds are concerned. I'm going to add more, and then I'm going to reissue the sound box, and these are going to be considered updates. So you guys know what updates are. So the next update is going to have 10 more sounds. And then the following update is going to have 10 more sounds. And the goal for the instrument is to have 50 sounds before the year is over. So that way you got, yeah, go ahead, Pete.
And just to mention, y'all missed a hell of a sale on the
Yes,
instrument. Was
it
that
was
last
no,
month?
it was
Was it
when I
one
first dropped
one
the instrument, which was it was a little bit ago. It was at the beginning of the year. You know what I'm saying? I had a sale
okay.
going on and it was
Yeah,
really, really cheap at that time. It was like $1.99. You could have picked it up. It was a
dollar
dollar
99.
99, man. But it's $9.99.
And right. But speaking of instruments, I want to speak on Coachella. You know what
Okay.
I'm saying? Coachella just happened, and I wanted to drop an article about Coachella because a lot of the younger kids are putting it on Klarna, and putting they can't afford the tickets, and that's what the statistics are showing. But I wanted to drop that article, but I had so much going on. But what I will mention about Coachella, the Glorilla song that she's with T Pain, my
Yes.
family, yeah, my family, Monte, he did that beat from Camp from Atlanta. When you when you hear
Okay. Big shout out to the
right
Oop Camp.
when you hear the song, you think automatically it's a T Pain beat, but it's a Monte beat. And if you follow
Nice.
DJ Monte, he actually was in the studio with T Pain, and they were talking about the Coachella performance. And he said, "I want to change the beat up. Can you change the beat up?" So he added like a if you go online and YouTube and listen to if it's up, I'm sure it's up there because YouTube is the university. Uh,
It is the university.
when she did "I Love This" on Coachella and they changed the beat up, Monte is the one who did the beat, but he added a Kendrick Lamar little that sound in there that he does for that mustard, that beat, the beginning of that beat. He adds that to the "I Love This," so check that out.
Oh, definitely. And big shout out to Camp anyway, because they were one of the judges that was at the beat battle that I won in Atlanta. So, it's funny how small the circle is. You know what I mean? Because I played beats in front of a star-studded panel of judges, and I took it by storm. I literally, there was two people that was supposed to get up after me, Podge, and they said, nah, I think we're gonna let this one go. And yeah, so that kind of solidified and stamped me in the city of Atlanta, which is I consider the second city home, next or third city home, because we're all from Erie, Pennsylvania, but I live in Pittsburgh and I'm on the Pittsburgh Hip Hop Wall of Fame. But before I became Wall of Fame accredited, I was a beat champion in Pittsburgh and in Atlanta. So, with that being said, we're gonna keep the music side of things rolling. I wanted to, right, because new album coming up with me and Miss Toy. A big shout out to Miss Toy over there on the West Coast. We'll be on tonight on the lovely radio show at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 7 p.m. on the West Coast. So make sure you guys are tapping in for West Coast Day. But we got a new project coming in this series right here, and this is called Rock Hop. Rock hop is something that me and Miss Toy, came up with the idea to do something that had a rock infused hip hop type vibe to it, and I figured this would be appropriate. Checking in with the chat once again. Misery is back in the building. What up, Miz? You already know it, man. Indianapolis in the building. You know what I'm saying? All day long. Dismo said, I'm up. Yeah, from last night's reservations for 3. We had a great show last night. You know what I'm saying? Thank you to everybody that tuned in last night with me, Dismos, and Pudge, DJ Pudge. You already know. Make sure you catch us on Tuesday nights as well at 9 p.m. You know what I'm saying? So all of the networks are checking in. Blunt Conversations. You know what I'm saying? The Blunt Conversations podcast. Gas Bag Benny is checking in this morning from the Steel City. What up, Gas Bag? You already know what it is, man. Salute to you, brother. You already know. That's my guy right there. He said, Pab, my guy. Jada the GOAT is in here. Producer extraordinaire, Jada the GOAT. Hey, good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Dismo said I was on that bottle. Yeah, he had that rose. He had that rose.
That bottle was empty by the end of the show.
Yes, indeed.
He was trading. He was trading.
No doubt. Steelers Nation is in the building. Good morning. Good morning, everybody. Here goes the chat is live and active this morning, man. Appreciate y'all tapping in. But y'all have a listen to this. This is from Rock Hop Volume 1. Rock Hop Volume 2 is in the works right now with Miss Toy. Excited about it, man. We're going to bring some more of that rock, rap, hip-hop flavor. You know what I'm saying? Only way the Juggernaut and Miss Toy can bring it to you. But this particular one is fitting for the AM King show because we put in the work. So check it out. Put in the work. Miss Toy, the legend from the West Coast.
Put in the work. Put in the work. Put in the work. Put in the work. Put in the work.
That's right, J-Pad the Juggernaut.
Put in the work. Put in the work. No,
Miss
I put in
Toy.
that motherfucking work. I put in the work. 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 Get 'em. Put in the work. 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 I never settle. I ain't gotta fuck your pedal. I ain't no puppeteer. I run this shit in here. Ghetto bitches ain't listening. The engineer and the pioneer. New classics every year. In the game, it ain't shit I fear. Straight up, I've been mashing on them. Stay tinted, put the glasses on them. Church mode, they get the clapping on them. Work mode, they get the slapping on them. When they fake, they get the work ethic. No talking, all business. Stacking paper, every sentence. Star player, y'all on the benches. Stay so fly, so fly. Fuck them up every time, every time.
Yeah, this is that Rock Hop Volume 1.
Put in work every single line. to your eye, gon' keep
sure y'all
that fire
tapping in.
smoke blowing right in your
Out
eye.
everywhere.
You ain't never gotta worry about mine.
Put in the work, 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 put in the work.
Yeah, AM King Show. We put in the work.
Put in the work, put in the work.
Boy, Rock Top Volume 1.
Put in the work, put in the work.
Yeah.
Put in the work,
Get 'em.
put in the work, put in the work.
Progress is a must in the veil. Do it just how I feel. Put in the work so I tell you how much it is. Viewer's choice off the invoice. Money counter, stay on point. In my session, gotta like this joint. All placements here for it. Rock hopper, get the screaming on them. Blocks hot to get the team on them. Spray low, we get the cleaning on them. Mocked out, we get the beaming on them. Real moves, we get the reading on them. By example, get the leading on them. They out the mud, no out the dirt. Them dusty hoes get the sneezing on them. Stay on my grind, on my grind. Fuck them up every time, every time. Real twist, stay in the mix. Chop it up, paid off them splits. Longevity out this bitch. Keep on stacking all my digits. Digits.
Put in the work, put in the work.
Hayes, what
put
up?
in the work,
Checking in.
put in the
Listen,
work,
checking
put in the
in.
work, put in the work. Put in the work, put in the work, put in the work.
Oh, yeah.
Put in the work, put in the work,
Living in the
put in the
dirt.
work. Put in the work, put in the 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 work, put in the work.
Oh, yeah, the king. Mellow Man. Trump carding it. You know what I'm saying? That is Miss Toy, the legend from the West Coast. Legendary Miss Toy. You know what I'm saying? Old Miss Toy, a whole hell of a lot in my career, man. You know what I'm saying? Like I made it to Wikipedia based off the work I did with Miss Toy. Miss Toy is the infamous voice on Ice Cube's record, You Could Do It, Put Your Back Into It, from the Friday series, but she is also featured in a lot of different movies, TV shows, all kind of dope shit. You know what I'm saying? Once again, oh, excuse me, damn. Once again, we're going to check in with the chat. The chat.
Let her rip.
Yeah, I put in the work right there. You know what I mean? And yeah, make sure y'all check out Rock Hop Volume 1 by Miss Toy. Go to misstoysworld.com. You know what I'm saying? And you can get the 411 on all of her albums. She is 17 independent albums in to her career, which is all the way live. You know what I'm saying? Steelers Nation said, good morning, all. Yes, Steelers Nation checking in. Hey, Misery says, salute to Miss Toy from the YGMG and Blunt Conversations podcast family. You know what I'm saying? KO Hayes, my boy Hayes, what is going on, brother? Salute to you this morning. Thank you for tapping in. He said, J-Pad always been putting in the work. You already know. Melanie, thank you for the love, you know what I'm saying? Bullseye, you already know what it is. Yes, indeed. Charlie said, C said, dope. Yes, that record is definitely dope. Miss Toy is all the way dope, 110% dopeness. You know what I'm saying? Pioneer in this rap shit. You know what I'm saying? Like when I tell you guys we play on the real field, it's not a brag point. This is what we do. We are on the field. You know what I'm saying? You know them guys on Sunday, them guys that play on the field on Sunday. That's us. That's us. That's what we do. We play on the field. The AM King Show, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 8 a.m. YouTube, Facebook, like, subscribe, share. Okay, fellas. With that being said, we took a nice little chunk of time, but we're gonna get through our little rundown this morning. You know what I'm saying? I had to bring this up because this is absolutely diabolical. President Trump, President Trump and the White House. They said China is now facing up to a 245% tariff on imports to the U.S. as a result of its retaliatory actions, another escalation in a trade war between the world's two largest economies. Let's take a listen to the audio here and see what's up. It says the White House said China is now facing up to 245%. Man, it's way higher. executive order that launched an investigation into the national security risks posed by U.S. reliance on imported processed goods. Oh, yeah. So right here, we're just going to pause that right there because it says China has repeatedly stated its solemn position on the tariff issue. This tariff war was initiated by the United States, and China's necessary countermeasures are to safeguard its legitimate rights and interests and international fairness and justice, which are completely reasonable and lawful. Man, the foreign ministry came out with that. Says here there is no winner in tariff wars and trade wars, and China does not want to fight, but it is by no means afraid to fight. Well, fellas, I don't know. That's looking crazy right there. LB, what's your thoughts?
Man, they instigating the war. They're instigating something because China
Yeah,
exposed all the U.S. little secrets of holidays, bringing in all these low budget quality clothing and stuff and selling them to top dollars and all that shit. They exposing everything that the U.S. didn't want them to know. Now they telling everything. It's gonna really change hands, and really a lot of things gonna happen over all this.
absolutely, absolutely. Mellow man.
Yeah, you see, he paused the tariffs, and he had to think twice about it. But I mean,
He had to.
he's all the way. Yeah, he's all the way in on it. So he gonna have he made his bed, gonna have to lay in it. But again,
Yeah,
like
I
we
guess
all.
yeah, I was about to say running off the deep end is what his choice is, and he's showing it in front of everybody. But go ahead, P. My fault. I didn't mean to interrupt.
Oh no, no doubt. Um, it's just really some elementary stuff. If you really look at it, like we don't have the facilities to shut China down, Mexico, Canada. We don't have the facilities to even come up with the products. So all of the stuff that we have already that's infiltrated. I mean, I'm looking around this room right now. I I don't see anything that's made in the United States. There's nothing in this room.
Right, right.
This, this, this. This is all came from Thailand, Vietnam, Malaysia. It's
Yeah.
a tough fight, man. We just gonna have to do what we can do, man.
Yeah, I have a feeling. I agree with you on that, Mello. Great feedback from both of y'all. But I agree with LB. Something drastic is going to happen from these drastic actions. You know what I'm saying? Drastic measures is going to bring about a drastic result. I also agree with C in the chat. He said there are things we can't control. We can at the same time raise our vibrations and trust that the universe is on our side. Most definitely. And people think that talk is really just some mumbo jumbo. That is not mumbo jumbo. I'm telling you right now, our vibrations are everything. Vibration in your own internal is everything. If you're not vibrating high, you're vibrating low. There is no middle ground. You either are vibrating high or you're vibrating low. And if you don't know what high vibration versus low vibration is, I suggest you get on Google this morning, people. My chat, all my people out there watching, you know what I'm saying? Even if you're not in the chat, if you're watching, get on a page of high vibration, staying focused. Part of staying focused is having high vibration. So thank you, C, for that in there. Our former President Obama had something to say about it. Let's look at the video and see if he had something to say. If not, we will read.
Former President Biden is set to speak in public today for the first time since President Trump took office. It comes as former President Obama is speaking out about Harvard rejecting a list of government demands, including overhauling hiring and admission practices. Obama says Harvard has set an example for other higher ed institutions, rejecting an unlawful and ham-handed attempt to stifle academic freedom. So let's bring in ABC News contributing political correspondent Rachel Bade for more. Rachel, what do you make of President Obama speaking out in support of Harvard and the timing here?
Hey there, James. I mean, look, when former President Obama speaks, people listen because he doesn't really speak very often. He keeps kind of behind the scenes. So this sort of underscores the seriousness of what we're talking about here. I mean, this notion of having the federal government weigh in on who universities admit, which students they admit, who they hire, their own curriculums. I mean, clearly, Harvard is setting a precedent here by drawing a line saying we're not going to do this. And I think it matters because a lot of universities
Okay, they added us.
Ever since I was young,
You know what I'm
dream-
saying? That was important what she was going to say there, but let's continue.
education institutions, they're under pressure by the White House right now to cape to various demands from the Trump White House. So Obama is obviously showing support for these folks, and I think people really welcome that. What I think is different, though, with Joe Biden is sort of how people are feeling about Joe Biden weighing in on things. Just to be very candid, James, I mean, I'm hearing nothing but squawking from Democrats about Joe Biden coming out now, talking about Social Security, railing against Republicans. A lot of Democrats blame him for the fact that Donald Trump is now in the White House. So not the same response, I will tell you, from Democrats when it comes to Joe Biden.
Okay, and we kind of figured that would be the case in any instance. You know, Joe showed that he was not fit to run a second term, and Obama, I mean, has the right to speak up because his statements for for democracy are going to weigh heavier. You know what I'm saying? They're going to weigh heavier. But El, what you think about that? Obama weighing in on the situation.
Man, they trying to give all hands on deck. We had a situation that where
Yeah.
people need to start figuring out what's going on, and then people ain't listening. So they got to pull out people that they know that might catch an ear or two, because, like I said, in the future, it's going to be a lot of things changing and stuff, and people ain't getting prepared for it. They're informing you, but are you paying attention?
That's the whole point right there. Well said, El. Mellow Man, you know what I'm saying? The Abbott, give us something.
Phew, without a doubt. People forget that Obama did 2 terms. And, everything he did wasn't something that we agreed upon. But
Right.
what we're going through right now, I felt like Michelle should have ran. I think I
Right.
think Michelle would have been a better candidate than Kamala, definitely. And if she would have won, see what a lot of people don't understand, the office of being the president is it's almost like being a pilot. It's on autopilot. There's no reason for you to reinvent the wheel.
No.
You got a whole team with you of experts. Now, what Trump is an expert in is in firing people and and messing up
And
businesses.
messing up
That's
business. I'm about to say.
six, 6 to 8 times he done filed for bankruptcy. So people say, well, it's a business. It should be ran by a businessman. Well, let Warren Buffett run the country. You know what I mean? He's, but
Oh, if that's the case, I mean,
but I agree with L. We got it. We got to step. We got to step and stand for this democracy. And like you said, Jay, Biden, he was kind of fading towards the end, and if it wasn't for Obama, remember, he was the vice president for Obama. So he came and stood for his guy.
Yes, very well said, brother. Very well said. Chat, you can weigh in if you want. You know what I'm saying? But I know for a fact that everything that we're saying here is very important, and most importantly, like we're all saying and alluding to, you got to get past the surface of what's really, really going on, and stay woke and stay focused. Like C said, we got to stay focused on what's really happening in this country. You know what I'm saying? Because if we do not, if we're just sleepwalking, we're just worried about going to get the Pampers and going to get something from Best Buy and this, that, and the third. The next time you ballers are going to the Gucci and the Louis store, and it gets outrageous for you. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna come back down to earth, and it's gonna come crashing. and we need to be under the surface so we understand. China already exposed that it only costs so much to make a pair of Air Jordans. We said that on the AM King show right here, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, y'all. Facebook, YouTube, like, subscribe, and share. We already put that out there for y'all. We showed y'all that China exposed how much these products that they're charging gazillion amounts of dollars for, and then some, some essential goods, how cheap it is for them to produce this stuff. You know what I'm saying? We got to really, really be on alert, and that's why we bring it to you in the morning on the AM King show. We're going to move forward in the timeline. You know what I'm saying? We got another subject to talk about. L brought this one up, and I thought this was good for our chat to debate with, and really, really sink into this subject right here. Parents with children in school. Now, this is going to be a sensitive subject for some, but we have healthy discussions on things that are not popular but necessary. And this is one of the subjects that I looked at when Elle sent it to me, and I was like, oh yeah, this may be necessary for us to talk about. It says in the caption, she's telling the truth. Our children want to be homeschooled. They are only being taught things that would benefit the system and not our children. Have a listen.
Take your children out to school. I'm a former educator. They stopped teaching them years ago. You just didn't know.
Yeah, that's true.
You just didn't know. Education went to hell years ago. They taught them compliance. They stopped teaching them to think. Analytical thought went out the window with state exams. Those state exams are just being used to track your children, to determine who's going to college, to train them to support this God-forsaken system, or the rest that's going elsewhere. They have pushed us into prison. I don't care how you look at it. If you're in corporate America, you're imprisoned by your lifestyle. If you're in the government, you're imprisoned by your job with good benefits. You understand? If you are on subsidy, you're imprisoned by their benefits. We have to get out their system, pull yourself out, pull your dollars out, and level it.
Wow. That is heavy conversation right there, guys. And this may take a second for us to unpack. Let's really, really quickly go to the chat. Charlie said, he said, people, you can be surprised at what great things that await you in spite of what's going on in the world. Stay with high vibrations. Nothing is impossible. Agreed. Great advice right there. Misery said, my speed right here. The Blunt Conversations talked about that on their podcast, and we're bringing it to you this morning. You know what I'm saying? C said, my children have been homeschooled since birth. Big shout out to C for making sure that the children are being schooled well at home. You know what I'm saying? And I do know this from personal experience, just watching C educate his children at home. And, big shout out to you, brother. You know what I'm saying? You are, in rare air with that. And a lot of us can even look back at our education and see where that particular side of it failed us. You know what I mean? And it's a system, y'all. Just remember that word, system. Misery said all of what she said, plus your child is not safe in school, period. On top of that, C said, I can most definitely speak on homeschooling and the war on the mind. I know you can, bro. And we're going to have you come on. I promise you, we're going to have you come on. You know what I'm saying? Oh, you're welcome, brother. He said, thank you. Misery said, kids being stabbed in school, kids being shot in school, no protection in the school for our children. Man, these are all powerful statements coming from the chat. LB, you know what I'm saying? You brought it to my attention, man. Weigh in on this, bro.
And it's always been like that if you really think about it. Schools were designed to train you to learn certain things. I think school is supposed to be designed to get you prepared for life. They're not preparing you for life. They just want you to get the information of things they want you to know. And then when you get to a certain age, you got to figure everything else on your own. So I'm not understanding. You get home trained, you'll be trained by somebody that's going to tell you the things you need to know instead of wasting a whole lot of time to tell you things that's not going to benefit you in the end. So, in my opinion, They need to stop the school stuff and let people just get home training and let them go ahead and figure out what the path they need to path on their own because they're just wasting kids' time. 18 years of training in school. What do they do? They go to college to do what? Owe some more money? Owe
Oh
some
yeah,
more money to somebody? It don't make no sense to me
yep,
because now you're already starting off behind in a field that you probably ain't gonna get a
yes.
job for anyway. So it's pretty much
Oh man, yeah, bro. I mean, look, I'm gonna put it on blast this morning. I discovered years and years removed from us graduating from Strong Vincent High up in Erie that the whole entire time that we were there, the textbooks that they were teaching us with were at least 5 years behind. 5 years behind in education, and I graduated with high honor from our high school. And I got to college and I felt like I was in the matrix because it nothing that I learned in high school, translated to college. And I ended up being one of those statistics. I ended up with a $40,000 bill. You know what I'm saying? Because I realized that that type of education really wasn't the education that I was supposed to be getting. You know what I'm saying? Like it took me it was a very very sobering and long process to really really understand and come to terms with that. Back to the chat real quick, and then we're gonna have a message from the Mellow Man. C said, well, Misery said just a big shooting in Dallas High School yesterday. Yeah, yeah, absolutely, absolutely. We saw that. I'm sorry I didn't get a chance to put that in the rundown, but that's absolutely true, and that's a shame. It's a tragedy, and we have prayers going out to those children in that school because trauma is real, and that's another thing that comes with it. C said, John D. Rockefeller, I don't want a nation of thinkers. I want a nation of workers. The creator of the Department of Education. Woo, man, powerful. Misery said everything going on in schools but learning is bad and sad. Yes, true indeed. Melanie said yes, yes indeed. Yep. Was old as hell. Yeah, the textbooks were old as hell, Melanie. I graduated from SV2 in 88. I remember when you graduated a couple years before us. You know what I'm saying? We all went to school together. You know what I'm saying? Know that that we understand exactly what you're talking about. Steelers Nation said some of us was blessed to come across certain teachers that cared when we were coming up. True indeed. Buck and assist at 5 years behind and shortages. Thank you. Thank you. Because it was really, really a crazy situation. The Abbott, you know what I'm saying? Please bless us with some wisdom on this.
For shizzle my nizzle. No, mom's sister is a teacher or was a teacher. Us coming up in the hood, you know, a dogs on the hood, by the way.
A
I mean,
dog.
a dogs on the hilltop.
Yes,
A
indeed.
dogs on the hilltop. That's us.
A
So
dogs.
my aunt was on 24th and French. We was on 21st and Holland, and my other aunt was on 21st and German. So between those three households, a lot was being taught from cooking to life lessons like L's talking about. Um, that's what's missing, the actual community being a village. You know what I mean? It was a village. Our house on 21st and Holland, it was a three-bedroom house, but my grandfather had 14 brothers and sisters. So Thanksgiving was, we was packed on the steps. We was sitting on the steps eating Thanksgiving dinner. You know what I mean? And now you go to a lot of places like, I ain't going over there. I ain't got no place to sit.
Yeah.
It's too crowded. I don't get along with this, that, and the other. We're missing the village part.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? And before before I came back up top, I was down here in my first 2 years, my ninth and 10th grade. I was down here in the school that I went to was Wisdom High School. There was a shooting there on the 10th. So, that shooting in Dallas is just kind of resenters, it's in our brain now. We're trying to figure it out like, oh, it was a shooting in Dallas, man. It was a shooting here on the 10th at the school that I attended. And a black SUV pulled up it was a 16-year-old sophomore. They just started letting off, and I think a girl who was just in the line of fire. It was no serious injuries, but it's a serious issue.
Issue for sure. Amen to that. And I can even say in the city of Pittsburgh, it's I mean, every school now has, those security doors where you got to walk through, and it checks you for weaponry. And shootings have happened in these schools on a regular and consistent basis. You know what I'm saying? Back to the chat. Yeah, uh, Melanie said, yes, those books were old. The teachers were old. The building was old, but it was the best of times. Yeah, we did have a good time in high school, but when you look at the hindsight of things, and we don't want to miss the point here, is that, what a disservice they did to damn near all of us. You know what I'm saying? And I really felt like they did a disservice to me. I ended up getting stuck with a college bill and didn't even graduate. You know what I'm saying? I ran out of money. You know what I'm saying? Melanie also said, co-signing Podge. She said, definitely missing that, Podgy. You know what I'm saying? Oh, my man Sam, Southside Sam in the building. Good morning. Good morning from the Steel City. You know what I'm saying? Yes, indeed. That's our autistic family. You know what I'm saying? Big love to you for tapping in. Just goes to show you, man, the AM Kings is here for everyone. You know what I mean? Very talented autistic rapper. I concur. You know what I'm saying? Big shout out to you, Sam. Much love for tapping in this morning with us at the AM Kings show. You know what I'm saying? C said, I went to Catholic school and public school. There is a very big difference. Oh my goodness, isn't there?
Very.
Huge difference. Huge difference. I mean, you just brought up a serious point right there. And I mean, L. I mean, L. Go ahead, bro. I know you can say something about that.
Oh yeah, because my girl kids went to a Catholic school, and the way they do things, they put the 100% care and concern on their education, their abilities, everything they do inside. They're fully on top of them. Now, school, regular public schools, once you get in that door, it's like being in playland. You playing with the friends, you doing your what? You ain't even taking life serious. You just hanging out. When you in the Catholic school, it's a whole different movement. That's why I said it's a whole different learning, but they teach you different things. So they put you in position because they'll get you scholarships for colleges and everything. They'll put it all in you and shit if you really on
Right.
that thing.
Right. Get
So,
you a free ride. Get you a free ride to school. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? Which in a public school system, I'm telling you, there were schools that I wanted to go to, but I couldn't afford to go to them. So I ended
but
up going to Penn
so
State
yeah,
because that
you
was
got
the most affordable option that I had. You know what I'm saying? I wanted to go to school elsewhere. I wanted to go to a HBCU, but it was too expensive for me to go there. You know what I'm saying? And that's the discrepancy right there. We didn't have the right kind of counselors guiding us to those monies that were available for people that achieve high. You know what I'm saying? Rain checking in this morning. Rain checking in from South Bend. Yeah, he said right here in Wilkinsburg. That's where I am right now. Believe it or not, Rain, I'm right in Wilkinsburg, PA. They had metal detectors in Wilkinsburg Middle School back in '09. Middle school, y'all. Middle school. C said, in Catholic school, I was taught morals and we were punished for immoral things. See, there we go. That's one thing right there. That's a big discrepancy right there. Misery said, deaf is. I got kicked out of public schools and got sent to Catholic schools. I ain't gonna lie. They used to beat me in Catholic schools. Real talk. They was abusive in Indianapolis. See, man, you're hearing it from our chat. You're hearing it all in the atmosphere, and this is a subject that is well overlooked. Homeschooling is definitely something that I notice that kids excel. At one point in time, my son was homeschooled. He didn't spend his whole entire education career in the school environment. He actually was homeschooled for a period of time, and now he's 25 years old, making 60 something odd $1,000 a year being an IT. He was able to map out based off of his choices in education and being put in the right kind of schooling to get to the success. You know what I'm saying? So a big shout out to my son for doing his thing. You know what I'm saying? He's
Yeah.
definitely the spectrum as well, Sam. My son is on the spectrum, and it's proof that the right kind of education can bring the best out of anybody. Anybody. You know what I'm saying? Back to the chat. Um, Melanie said, the sad thing about Catholic schools now and in Erie, Pennsylvania, they're closing. See, here's another thing.
They close
Here's
them left and right.
left and right. There's only one high school left in the city of Erie, Pennsylvania, y'all. There's in our hometown, we have one public high school left. You know what I'm saying? If you don't go to the collegiate academy, you go to this high school. And they took all of the other high schools away because they knew, and I think they knew. You know what I'm saying? Oh, my big brother, Suge Holloway, checking in to the show. Good morning, good brother. You already know the AM King show is in effect, but no, man. Listen, our hometown got one high school, y'all. One. It's been condensed. Our school that we graduated high school from doesn't exist. The one that Paji graduated from does not exist. You know what I'm saying? None of these things exist anymore. Misery said, I spoke on that as well. Metal detectors should be back in placement at schools. Man, you ain't got to worry about it here in the Steel City. They're there. They're there, brother. They're there. They're metal detectors. They know even at the community centers, they have metal detectors. So, it's really that real out here. It's crazy, you know what I'm saying? And it's not something to glorify. We're doing this for a teachable moment. You know what I'm saying? Sam, good morning, Sam. Sam Boone checking in. You already know what it is, you know? He said, none of these schools teach life lessons like buying a home, getting a loan, starting a business. It's just to get you used to showing up somewhere. My. Yes, indeed, Hollowhead. Hollowhead, big fist. You already know what it is, man. Appreciate you tapping in this morning. Misery said, what about armed security guards with the metal detectors at each fucking door? They used to have hallway monitor and bathroom monitors. Yes, they used to have all that. But now, like I said, in this city, I don't know what's going on in Indianapolis, and that must be addressed. If it's not addressed, then it definitely needs to be addressed. But it's here. They have Pittsburgh police at the public schools here. They are on duty and they are at the door everywhere here. You know what I'm saying? Raim said we need to close the high school in Wilkinsburg because of funding. It wasn't just because of funding, Raim. I know because I actually went over to the high school and I was teaching. They asked me to come over there and do a teaching class on music production. Man, when I walked in there, and it's no disrespect to the Wilkinsburg School District, they ran that place like it was uh, East Side High. I mean, they ran that. I mean, I go in there, the teachers are not teaching nobody. It was nothing going on. It was like people were cutting up in class. I couldn't even get my curriculum going because there was nothing that I could do. You know what I'm saying? Sam Boone said it's just job preparation. That's all it is. It's to put you in the workforce to go make somebody else rich. Absolutely. I agree with that wholeheartedly. C said there's obviously a higher agenda going on. The children are the future. Control them. You control the future. My. Man, big shout out to the chat. I'm gonna give y'all a salute this morning because y'all is tapping in and you guys are saying some really great stuff. Misery said, no way a kid should be stabbed multiple times in the bathroom with no help in a whole school facility. Where's everyone's damn antennas? Come on, y'all. Come on, y'all. Wake them up. Wake them up this morning. You know what I'm saying? And also stay tuned for the woke show coming right after
The woke
this show.
show.
Yes, it's going right hand in hand. Raim said, not Mr. Clark. Yeah, it was Mr. Clarkish when I came there. And that was right around
Clarkish.
that was it was the same way in '09. And the time when I was going in there, Raim, was about 2000 and I want to say 2003. 2003, 2004, maybe even a little bit later than that. But it was right around that way. He said it was the same way in '09. Yes, it was. I already know it was, bro. That's the reason why they closed the school down, because it was one of the poorest education systems in Pennsylvania. And I just saw a video where it showed the top, the worst the top 10 worst school districts, and Wilkinsburg made number 3 on the list. Raim said, my aunt wanted to send me to the school in Homewood. Yeah, I know exactly which one you're talking about. And Homewood is man, everybody knows around here, Homewood is a very, very notoriously, I mean, if you ever seen Cops, you ever seen the first 48, Homewood is laced all in those shows. It's nothing to play with over in Homewood, especially when the sun go down. Just know that. You go visit the Steel City, you come to Homewood, you playing around with it. You know what I'm saying? But Melanie said Villa and Prep Catholic High School are one. Strong Vincent and East High are middle schools, and Academy High is collegiate. If you're a home owner in Erie, Pennsylvania, we pay high school taxes, and schools are closing left and right. Have a blessed day, everyone. Hey, you have a blessed day too, Melanie. Thank you for that take on your way out of here. You guys you be great today. Raim said yes. I already know, brother. I'm right here. You know what I'm saying? You know, Wilkinsburg and Homewood border each other. Wilkinsburg and East Hills border each other. And East Hills, the East Hills district of Pittsburgh is nothing but projects. You know what I'm saying? So we understand these things. You know what I'm saying? We understand how these things go. Hey, West, true live. You already know what it is. You know what I'm saying? True live, checking in.
A lot of my homies from Edinburgh. From Homewood, you know, and Westinghouse. That's the school
Absolutely.
they talking about.
Absolutely.
It's nuts.
Oh,
I've
man,
been
listen,
through there.
and now it's not uncommon to see the police at the front door. You know what I'm saying? That's just how it is in pretty much all of the Pittsburgh public school system. You know what I'm saying? They had to do that. And it's real clap happy out here, and everybody knows that. You know what I'm saying? Peace, Wes. You already know what it is, man. Big love to you, brother. Thank you for tapping into the AM King Show. We are here Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, starting at 8 a.m. on Facebook and YouTube, man. Like, subscribe, and share. You know what I'm saying? Raim said, I got to get to work. Shout out to y'all putting the knowledge into the world. These are conversations that need to be had. This is exactly what we're talking about, people. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, we want to bring you entertainment. We want to bring you other factors, but we also we know that the priority is to feed the mind with things that we need to make ourselves aware of so we can start vibrating higher, like my man C said. You know what I'm saying? And so we're going to go to our next subject really quickly. Then we got a couple of funnies before we get out of here, and then the woke show right after this. You know what I'm saying? So make sure you guys stay tapped in. We're going to Elle found something else here. This is a subject. This is yes, Misery. It's a balance. Absolutely. We must balance. Balance is key. You know what I'm saying? And can't just give dum-dum. No. We're not that kind of show. We are the AM Kings. So us being the AM Kings, we are definitely going to enlighten and uplift and make you aware of things, you know what I'm saying, that are going on. But yeah, this subject I thought was really interesting, and I think we should give this a run because this is for historical purposes. And sometimes we got to know, we got to see examples of the greatness that our people had and how it was stripped away from them. So this says Henry Ford did not invent any car, and the truth about George Washington Carver. Have a listen.
Slave who went into Arkansas. Wiley Jones was a former African-American slave who went into Arkansas. He stacked his money up and he became a railroad owner. He owned a railroad system, and the city of Pine Bluff, Arkansas ended up buying his railroad system, and that system is still owned by Pine Bluff right now. The Patterson Car Company was a car company founded by former slaves, African-American men, and the Patterson Car Company was the first African-American car manufacturer in the country, I think the only manufacturer in the country. And what's interesting about the Patterson Car Company, it was in Ohio. Their cars were considered higher quality than the Model T cars that Henry Ford had.
The DeRay brothers, Ford and them stole it. That's why all over the world, Ford never gets credit for inventing a car. He gets credit for mass production.
The cars began coming off the assembly line at the rate of 1 every 40 seconds. Until
that, they take one car and put it together. But where did he get that from? George Washington Carver. George Washington Carver was never around black folks. till he went to Tuskegee. His mother and father died or was killed, and a white family adopted him from Iowa. You know, black folks in Iowa, except football players. So he went to grade school, high school, and they didn't have no secondary school. They didn't have enough people. And so now George Washington Carver leaves after he get all this education come out there. And he goes to Tuskegee. Henry Ford came down to visit, like he always see his friend. And he said, Mr. Ford, I got something here. Study plants. And see, if you take this back and give it to your engineers, they can build more than one car at a time. He took it back. Mass production all over the world is called the plant, right?
Everybody made joke of him because they said, well, you know, what, the plants are talking to him? You know, is this how he's getting these properties of these plants? And George Washington Carver, in his quiet, dignified way, said, well, who taught me? I'm not saying that they talk to me like they got a tongue, but I can look at a plant and see what it can do for the human family.
The military came to George Washington Carver, and they said, we need you to do something for us. Can you invent something that out of it we can get paint, glue, ink, and plastic? Yeah, I can handle it. They tell me how smart black folks are. Yeah, I can handle it. So he came back, called soybean. Now you want to hear something funny? The #1 cancer group in America is vegetarians. Because you wasn't supposed to eat soy. When he got to Tuskegee, they thought he was gay. No association with women, high-pitched voice, they thought he was gay.
The finest use we've been able to make of peanuts is in the treatment of the after effects of infantile paralysis.
And he'd rather for you to believe he was gay than tell you that them white folks that adopted him castrated him so he couldn't have sex with their daughter. Like, who wanted him? Huh?
Wow, man. That is, whew. For context purposes, man, I hope, chat, that you guys got a chance, and everybody watching the show today got a chance to see that for historical and factual purposes. George Washington Carver is the father of the American motor car. You know what I'm saying? Fellas, you know what I'm saying? Thanks, L, for finding that. You know what I'm saying? That was really important. Chat said, Steelers Nation said Ford was a pirate anyway. Absolutely, we know that now. It's quite clear after watching that clip. And C said, oh man, so many words to say, so little time and not enough time to type. I know, brother. I know there's a lot of things we can unpack on that, but I think we just needed to show that to educate people, because this information is out here and the algorithm is going to show you what you're focused on. You know what I'm saying? The algorithm is going to show you what you're focused on. If you're focused on bum fights, people getting shot and all that other stuff, that's all that's going to appear in your feed. But see, we are the AM Kings. We go looking for things that make our algorithm completely different than what your average person's algorithm looks like, and this information comes down the pipeline. And so, you know what I'm saying, Mellow Man, you know what I'm saying, I know that you can put some words of wisdom to this.
Yeah, absolutely. High vibrations, that's been the theme this whole show. High vibrations. Go back to, what was it? 3 Feet High
De
and
La Soul.
Rising.
Yeah.
With De La Soul, was it Vibrations? Yeah. That song Vibrations. The stakes is high. The stakes is high.
Powerful.
The stakes is high. But listen, they don't never want to give us credit for anything. You know what I'm saying? As you were passing the mic to me, I was thinking of a conversation I was having on X Spaces last night with Joe Buttons and Rocky Thunder. We're going to talk about that on the Woke Show. But for right now, us not getting credit is a major thing. It goes back to the Egyptian pyramids. They try to say that aliens built the pyramids.
Man, because they couldn't figure out why
they didn't want to give us.
Yeah, they couldn't figure out why those structures were so indestructible, why they are still standing. What made them make the pyramid look like this? You know what I'm saying? And still, it's a marvel.
Calculations.
Yep, it's a marvel to this day, and they still haven't figured it out. Absolutely.
Yeah, if you can master mathematics and engineering, then you can master anything.
Absolutely. I agree. And I
So
can correlate that to
we
the music business. People
mhm.
are wondering what it is that makes me so proficient at what it is I do, is I understand simple math, addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division, and musical, excuse me, damn, musical count. You know what I'm saying? It's
We got you, family. We
Shit.
got you.
once I understood this, you couldn't stop me from doing anything. You know what I'm saying? That's the math that we're talking about. But L,
It's like it's been said, it's always been like this. They don't want to give us credit for anything. Everything that you finding out now is because of all this AI technology they got out here now. This stuff been like this since the beginning. We go to school, we always thought he made this and he made that. Now you finding the real truth out. I'm old as hell now. Why didn't I know all this shit back when I was young, wasting my time going to school? You know what I'm saying? I don't understand it. It was
yeah,
all for us to learn all this nonsense for what reason?
absolutely. Greatly said, brother. Greatly said. Thank you for that take. Chat. C said the aliens are black. Just saying. Yeah, aliens are black. Anunnakis built it, Misery said. You know what I'm saying? Steeler said, Mello, to them, we are the aliens. Yes, that's exactly what C just said. And we never have gotten the credit. You're right, Misery. We never have gotten the credit. You know what I'm saying? And it's about time that we put it on display. And on the AM King show, we're going to put the real deal on display, and we're going to bring it to you rough, rugged, and raw. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. C said, I could type the plot twist. It's too much. Yes, I understand, brother. I understand it's a lot. And I encourage everybody to go dig into your history. These videos exist. We're showing it to you right now. These videos exist. If you really want to sharpen your mind up and you really want to get on a higher vibration and start to understand things for yourself and know that you control the narrative of your life, this is the thing you need to be watching. Monday, Wednesday, now we're here. The AM, Monday, Wednesday, 8 a.m. Right over there. Right after we do our thing, make sure you also check out Misery's podcast, Blunt Conversations, because they're having the same kind of conversations that we are having. And make sure y'all tap in. Misery, if you could do us a favor and let us know what your schedule is, put it in the chat so people can start tapping into your podcast, brother. We would appreciate that greatly. Misery said, "Come up with the most things in life, then they use white face to pop out." Yep, absolutely. You know what I'm saying? That's exactly what we're talking about, and that's why we put those things in your atmosphere. And we appreciate y'all. Much love, much love. You already know, bro. You already know, bro. This is what building a network is all about. You know what I'm saying? Podge can say it. We've said it a lot of times on air. We are the network kings. You know what I'm saying? We build networks and we build net worth. The Trump card is definitely in effect. You know what I'm saying? Y'all see the Trump card there. You know what I mean? And that's, hey, you want to bust somebody up in spades, you better have one of them in your hand. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, yeah, that part. Slap you down, slap you down. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, for sure. He said he normally shoots on weekends when he's off from work, so we'll be checking in for you, brother. And if you could just give us a set schedule, yep, just Blunt Conversations podcast on YouTube. Type in, and you will see my big Blunt Conversations logo. Okay, cool. We'll definitely do that. Chat. Make sure y'all go over to YouTube right now and make sure you subscribe to the Blunt Conversations podcast, as well as subscribing to the AM King Show, the Lovely Radio Show, Reservations for Three, the Woke Show. Subscribe to every last bit of our network. We're actually building a small television station here. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're doing that right in front of y'all. You know what I'm saying? And we need to have these things for our own good. You know what I mean? So, as always, though, we can't leave y'all without a couple of funnies. And this gentleman right here used to be one of the funniest dudes on In Living Color. You know what I'm saying? Oh, Misery said, not a set schedule due to my kids whenever they sleep. Right. I got you. I understand. But a big salute to all the dads, big salute to all the moms, putting it in, working hard, still chasing their dreams while being the best of parents. But this guy right here, We know who this guy is, David Allen Greer from In Living Color. L found this, and I thought that this was hilarious. And anytime you seen him on In Living Color, you had a tendency to really bust a gut. So you guys enjoy this one.
Who writes history, Alicia? The white man. And he purposefully left out the sexual aspects of the rebellion because he is afraid of the black man's sexual prowess.
And the source for your research?
Nat Turner's secret diary.
Where is this diary?
It's a secret.
And where are you getting all of these female volunteers from?
Where aren't we? From junior colleges and sororities from around this country. Who knew there were so many young Caucasian females just itching to immerse themselves in black history? And I got to tell you, we're just super psyched about it.
You volunteered to do this? Why?
Well, unlike my husband, Terry and his friends can reenact for a very long time.
How does your wife feel about all this?
You're not going to believe this, but she loves it.
We visited Terry's house to see just how much she was loving it.
You just going to mess with them white bitches, mother.
It's not about me, baby. It's about the oral tradition.
Oral tradition? I got some oral tradition you can reenact right here, Terrence. Because you ain't been doing it in a while. And you better not come back here smelling like them white hoes either.
All right, then.
Look at this the goddamn horse.
Who writes history?
That nigga rode off to the sunset and
It's diabolical, Pete. You said her. It's diabolical. They rode off into the sunset. Oh man, this is 2 days in a row, man. Y'all got my stomach busted up. Misery said oral tradition. Steelers Nation said oral tradition. Yeah, she said, better not come back smelling like the white woman. Hey, that clip was diabolical, man. In Living Color, got to give the flowers to Living Color. They kept us laughing for years and years and years, man, and they had a lot of great funny skits. That just so happened to be one of them. We got one more for you, man, and Elle brought this up, and I couldn't contain myself. I said, we got to run this today.
Where John at?
John ain't here. He would love this one. He would love this one. He's missing this one. But make a long story short, you know how AI can take somebody's face. Hey yo, Bologna. Hey yo, see. Oh no. Hey yo, crazy work, man. I'm done. I'm done. AI, in this day and age, AI is a diabolical tool, especially when you can take somebody's face and put it on somebody else's face. So this is an AI regurgitated scene from The Last Dragon, and it said, "Man, this man LeBron and Stephen A. shit getting out of hand." And yes, it is. Have a look.
Leroy, you warmed up yet? Yeah.
Let me out! Leroy!
Nothing like this on stage, screen, radio, TV, or cable, baby. This is an exclusive.
The face is killing me with that summed up suit on.
Misery said, Leroy.
You warmed up yet? Yeah.
Leroy, let me out! Leroy!
Got Bronny in there.
Nothing like this on stage, screen,
Bayless.
radio, TV, or cable, baby. This is an exclusive.
Oh no! Oh!
That's it. He shot that shit.
He said that hairline. Oh Jesus! Oh Jesus! Oh,
Hey, they moved his real hairline up a little bit.
Yeah, they did.
He put the forward
Look at his damn face. Hell yeah. Oh my God. He ain't got a full head. He got a 5 head. Oh my God, man. Y'all is the real MVP for sticking in with us for that. I couldn't contain myself. Hey, yo, C said he don't have dreams. He see movies. Oh, this is diabolical. Misery said, y'all fried, bro. Yeah, we fried for that. Yeah, hey man, that's LB, man. You never know what you're gonna get with this. When this man is scrolling down, he sees some shit.
Gotta get it.
Gotta dry the eyes up real quick, man. That was just too diabolical, too funny. You know what I'm saying? Man, listen, man. We appreciate y'all tapping in once again. We'll be back on Friday, and we're gonna have some more good information for y'all. We're gonna definitely have some music to run y'all. You know, we're gonna varietize it up a little bit. We're probably even gonna talk about the early goings of the play-in tournament in the NBA. We're gonna definitely bring y'all some updates on that and give us, we'll give some predictions moving forward in the NBA playoffs, because it's that time of year, y'all. For those NBA fans out there, I know Miz, your people's the Pacers, they're in it. You know what I'm saying? They booked their ticket. They didn't have to go to the play-in, and we'll talk about that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, LB come with that funny shit. I swear to God, you do, man. You know what I'm saying? You never know. When LB get a hold of the sticks, man, you're gonna see something like this real quick. Oh my God, man. Hey, man, that dude is crazy. Whoever did that, Haywood Comedy. Big shout out to Haywood Comedy for that one. That was hilarious. Haywood Comedy is hilarious for that. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. We'll be back on Friday, though, y'all, man. Y'all be blessed. Make sure y'all go see the Mello PDC right now on the Woke Show. You know what I'm saying? Make sure y'all subscribe to that. Catch us later tonight. Me, Miss Toy, K-Wise, and the lovely radio squad goons. You know what I'm saying? Ben Frank will be on for West Coast Warrior Wednesday tonight. You know what I'm saying? Misery said blue and gold. No one playoff start. I'm not friends with no one playing the Pacers. I can dig it, man. Diehard Pacers fan there. I'm a Miami Heat fan myself. The Mellow Man over in Houston. The Rockets are really skyrocketing. You know what I'm saying? So y'all, it's going to be a really interesting playoffs this year. I can't wait to see how everything shapes up from the play-in tournament. Orlando won last night. The Warriors won an exciting game late last night. So, it's going to be interesting to see who wins tonight. So make sure you guys are tapping in and give us some good feedback, and we'll talk about it on Friday. So for the Mellow Man, LB, you know what I'm saying? This is the AM King Show. Y'all holler at us.